Hello and welcome to this submission video from Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun by me, Heinke. I'm going to show you the not campaign, or I'm going to submit the not campaign speedrun, which is basically the faster route compared to the GDI campaign. It's basically the any percent route just for the not campaign. In this case, this game is an RTS game where you basically have to build structures to play through the game normally, and the difference to other RTS games is that there is a glitch called the alt-tab glitch. This glitch allows us to build anywhere on the map, and we're going to abuse it rather early, which allows us to beat the game in roughly 30 minutes if everything works fine. So let's just get started. So the first mission starts with a different glitch, which allows us to build already troops while we are in the waiting screen. This is a scene where you can't move the camera until you get into action, and then we're going to immediately deploy units to their designated positions. Since we know what's going to happen, we're trying to do a certain skip by basically positioning our units at locations where enemies are, and we're going to order them to attack everything. If everything works correctly, we should be done rather quickly. Okay, so this is the first mission. It's very basic, it's just showing you the fundamentals of the game and how it works. And if everything is done correctly, it should be very quickly.
Destroy all of Hassan's elite guard.
Infantry reporting. You got it. Moving out. Got it.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Alright.
Primary objective
Sadly, the
achieved.
units on the right got killed, so I couldn't do this mission very quickly. But it's fine. Even if you do this kind of small mistake at the beginning, it's not going to give a big effect, since later on you have a lot of potential to break the game rather quickly and have very fast missions. So this mission is going to showcase the alt-tab glitch. Basically we need to, or the game shows you how to build structures, and we're going to abuse that mechanic. So first of all, we're going to put a normal factory in, and then we're getting the hand of nod. The hand of nod is the infantry building, which allows us to spawn units. In this case, we're going to immediately put it at our mission objective and capture the building. This is required for this mission, but it allows us to break it at the same time, since we don't need to really go further on the map, and it allows us just to take the next units and complete it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just spawn a lot of units and get them on an attack mode while we're going to destroy the bridge. But destroying the bridge gets a certain trigger to not destroy the buildings beneath, and all we need to do now is destroy all the units which are approaching us.
Construction complete.
So we're just going to pull. There you go. We're just going to put some laser towers just in case anything goes wrong, and with this we can just continue. The next mission is going to be Hassan's Temple. This is the feature in the game where basically you can decide what kind of mission you want to take, which is basically optional. In our case, we take the right one, which is the faster one. And first of all, we need to send our units over and destroy this drill. And while we do that, we put them in something called the guard mode. As this is an older game, it doesn't have like an attack mode compared to the newer StarCraft or Warcraft. So we need to do everything manually, which is not a big deal. It just makes you think more of playing an older game. So once again, we're going to deploy the Hand of Nod in the dark. So there's certain locations we need to memorize, and because we can build them in the complete dark, we can just use the units and send some support. With this, the building is captured and we're done with the next mission. So this is how the speedrun is going to work out mostly. What I think is different compared to the other RTS games, not only because of the glitch, but it also allows us later on to do both things. So first of all, This is like in the first couple of missions, it's mostly about learning the basics or getting only through with basic units. However, later on, you need to combine the element, or in this mission already, you have to combine the element of an RTS, which you need to play very good while using the glitch. So in this mission, it's about destroying every unit and every building you find. So what we're trying to do now is do both very quickly. We know we have one base here, which we need to destroy, and we have one base in the dark on the top left. So what we're going to do is build the hand of Nod in the base of our enemy,
New construction options.
and while we're
Training.
building in the base of our enemy, we're going to tell
Unit
our
ready.
remaining units to destroy this base and all the units here.
Unit
So I'm
ready.
pointing some waypoints
Unit ready.
so we can just capture them. And while doing that, we're going to take over the buildings of our enemies. This is going to be faster, and it also allows us to get more money by selling the buildings from our enemies.
Training. Unit ready.
Next mission will be that we're going to get some Titans out, which are a very powerful ground unit or vehicle from the enemies. And while we do that, we're going to get some Rocketeers out. The Rocketeers are just going to help us do some more damage while we are going to take care of the enemies.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit
So while I'm
ready.
doing this, I'm just going to put some markers here as well. Why not? Oops. Okay. I selected the wrong units, so that was not what I was planning to do. And then we're using the waypoints, destroying the markers. Now we don't really have any money, but that's fine. We don't require that much money here. So what we're going to do now is we're just sending over the units, destroying the last harvester, and making sure that we take the second objective, which is basically discovering the enemies up here. While doing this, we're going to take our first group of units and take care of the patrol.
Primary objective achieved.
So, as you can hear, we got the first primary objective, which is discovering the old lab. And while we discovered it, we're just going to make sure that we destroy all remaining units. In this case, there's a patrol here and another guarding tower, which we're going to try and take care of. I'll do this by telling our units here to go into a guarding position, basically allowing us to not take care or any commands from them while I'm taking care of the Titans. And if everything is done correctly, you see that we are done with this mission.
Mission accomplished.
There you go. Alright, next mission is a special mission. This is supposed to be a mission where you are trying to be more of a sneaky person. But in this case, we don't really care. There is a speedrun trick here, which allows us, if we're fast enough, or faster than the train, which we're supposed to catch, we can destroy the truck which has an item which we need to steal. So if everything done correctly, we can see that the truck just arrives. And while we destroy it, we just get the objective and we are done with this mission. This is fairly quick and a really cool thing. Even if this is not working at the first try, it's fine. There is a backup on the right, which is just 10 seconds slower. So even if you don't get it, you will be on the safe side. Next coming up is another stealth mission in an RTS.
New construction
As many people love
reinforcements have arrived.
this mechanic in RTS games, especially in older ones, we're going to break it. So normally you're supposed to do this in a stealthy manner, so you're not supposed to be seen, you should not be detected. But we don't really care about this. We're just going to deploy some units, and we're going to make sure that this unit here gets killed immediately, or more like, in this case, taken over. Because of that, we just finished this mission before he can escape, and thanks to this glitch we can do it. Otherwise this would be not possible. The next mission is going to be very similar. We're supposed to play the GDI in this case, where we're supposed to get the mutants on our level or on our side. And we're going to do that. So first of all, we're going to get some barracks. Then we go on the map to a certain position, and then we're just going to place next to the enemy base a barracks. As you can see, the placement of the buildings can be rather unfortunate sometimes. The reason for that is basically, even though we are building or constructing the building on unseen territory, it can still be in place of objectives. And if there are any other object, it can basically not allow us to put the buildings there. So we need to have certain location. Even if you're not getting your setup like you normally, like what happened in my case, you can still do this mission rather quickly and just correct it by figuring out where you are on the map. So the map knowledge is very prior. Also, this section in the speedrun is more of an auto-scroller. Here we're supposed to learn how to use the mutants and take them over to the base before we can use the alt-tab glitch again to construct units or buildings. So this will probably be the best time for donations or a break for myself from doing the commentary.
Yes, sir. No problem. I'm taking heavy fire. No problem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
Also, a little fun fact, since this is an older game made in 1999, the AI can sometimes block yourself, so you are not able to move around. It can be very annoying, especially when you're trying to go forward, because they're on a kind of like a follow command.
Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So you need to be very careful.
no problem. Sir. No problem.
Also, I'm trying not to lose too much health with my unit, because there's going to be a Titan in the next section, and it can do a lot of damage, and if my commander unit dies, I have to redo this mission.
Yes, sir. No problem. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright. Now at this point it doesn't matter what happened to the commanders, so we are just going to...
New construction options.
So we're just going to build our base again, go on the top left of... top right of the map, and place the building next to the
Not deployed here.
clinic.
Can
There you go.
New construction options. Training.
And now we're just going to
Building.
cast the units and start attacking.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Okay, and we're
Mission
done.
accomplished.
Also, what could be done as a donation incentive, if there is an interest for this, we could play all the old cutscenes from this game, as they're, for old times, they're pretty hilarious compared to newer
Establishing
standards, but at the
battlefield
same time,
control. Stand by.
it can be an interesting showcase that the older cutscenes still kind of uphold their class. Alright, this is another kind of auto-scroller. Here we have to get 2 hero units out of the prison. And even if we do it in the fastest manner possible,
Battle controls established.
it won't really matter, as we have to wait for the transporter to pick us up.
Unit lost.
But the good thing is, like, this mission introduces another unit, which is the Cyborg, which is kind of like a very overpowered unit. And what we're going to do is, we're going to send our drill over here, and we have these vehicles and send them into the bottom right corner. The way this works is the drill unit, which we can't see right now because it's underneath, can only go to places which has been discovered. So in our case, we need to make sure that we discovered this area,
Unit
so
lost.
that we can go over. And as we know that the
Unit lost.
helipad where we need to go is going to be in the bottom right, we just send our units as scouts over, so we can just finish this mission very quickly.
Unit lost.
Waiting orders.
And as I mentioned before, since this is an auto-scroller, we need to wait for
You got it.
the helipad to arrive.
Unit lost.
Sir.
In the meantime, I'm just going to
Unit
still
lost.
Ready.
get some time and just wait until the helipad arrives. During this time, I can just take care of some units, destroy the towers, but it's really not necessary.
Direct me. Of course.
Your command.
Yes. Of course.
Stand by. Obey. Affirmative. Stand.
Yes.
Reinforcements have arrived.
There you go.
Immediately.
And with this mission is done.
Mission accomplished.
Also, it's interesting to see that you get a green in a auto-scroller. Okay, this is the mission where I mentioned that where it becomes very interesting if you have,
Reinforcements have arrived.
first of all, a glitch happening in the speedrun, and you also need to play an RTS well. So right now, I need to, for this mission, I need to make sure that I
On my way.
advance in technology, destroy the enemy very quickly, and that I'm not losing my home base. So it can happen very quickly, especially in the early game, that the base gets attacked. In earlier runs, I lost a
Unit
couple of them
lost.
during
Construction complete.
PB attempts
New construction
due to this
options.
issue.
Construction complete.
And while we're trying to advance in technology, we're going to take over the base of our enemies once again.
You must build a Tiberian waste facility to store the substance. Training.
So once again, we want to take care of this main building as fast as possible. Sell this building for money, and we're going to do this for a couple of times.
Waiting, sir. Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders. On my way. Unit
So this is the so-called disruptor. The disruptor is a very powerful unit from the GDI, and it's very painful if you're not paying attention. So what I want to do is make sure that I destroy it as fast as possible, or as soon as possible. While doing this, I'm going to destroy
Structure
the technology, and I'm going to build another Tiberian refinery just to get more money in.
infantry reporting.
While doing this, I'm going to
Unit ready.
destroy further buildings, build more engineers to make sure that I can destroy or take over more bases. And here we have the attack from the enemy. Luckily, we were having enough units to survive this, and we don't have any issues.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
So in this mission, it's once again, the objective is not to destroy every unit, but it's to kill or destroy every building. It is not necessary to kill every unit, which is very good. But the other requirement is also to advance in technology, as I mentioned before. So what we're trying to do is to do both very quickly.
Loud and clear.
Unit lost.
On my way. Loud and clear.
Unit lost.
On it.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Moving out.
Construction complete.
Also, one trick most
Unit
players
lost.
didn't know when they were playing
Structure
Command and
sorted.
Conquer back then,
Unit lost.
you can sell the
Training.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Unit
sell the
ready.
refinery again to get some extra money. And it's more worth it than
Unit report. On my way.
doing it normally.
No problem, sir. No problem. You got it, sir.
Unit
You got
lost.
it. Unit report. You got it.
So I'm making sure that I'm going to get some more
Training.
engineers out, so just to capture the refineries, and then I'm going to start producing
Waiting on my
more
Building captured.
my Titans. While doing that, I'm trying to get the factory up
Base under attack. Unit
so that I can
lost.
advance in technology.
Building
Okay.
captured.
Also, selling
Structure
the buildings gives me more
Unit ready.
more units, which is very helpful.
Training.
Also, I lost my building here, which is not a big deal, as we can just construct further units
lost.
or another hand of not.
Building. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. You got it. You got it.
New construction
And while waiting, I'm
options.
just going to build some rocketeer to make sure that
Unit
I'm not going
ready.
to lose more buildings.
Building.
It's not really bothersome, it doesn't really matter at this point, but just to play it safe. So with this, we should be mostly safe. It shouldn't be... There shouldn't be any bigger surprises unless I'm not playing correctly or I'm not paying attention, but otherwise it should be fine.
Unit ready.
Also, we're going to take control of every unit,
Unit lost.
and we need the tech center as next building.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Also, at this point, we don't need any further units. Now we just need to make sure that we destroy everything and advance in technology fast enough.
Yes, sir. Orders received. No problem. Orders received. Moving out of my way. No problem.
Also, it is very important to get these towers, as these towers count as buildings as
Unit
well.
lost.
Okay,
New
so this is
construction
another trick.
options.
As before, I'm going to sell
Building.
my buildings, not because of the need of money, but because well, actually because I want to get more money, but I don't lose my technology in this case anymore. And the mission objective is to just get the
Loud and
the
Unit lost.
the waste convoy out, the waste facility.
Unit
There you go.
lost. New
I'm sorry, I forgot the
construction
name.
options. Building.
So now all we need to do is make sure that we destroy the last couple of buildings while we wait for our second mission objective to be done.
Unit lost.
And while doing this, we are just going to send our units over.
Secondary objective.
With this, we are done with the mission, so now we need to only wait for the waste facility.
Construction complete.
And there you go.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, this mission didn't go according to plan since I didn't build enough engineers at the start, and I also got harassed by the air units, losing my infantry facility. But even if this is happening, it's not a big deal. You still can counter and win the mission. The only bad thing about this is you're losing time, which you can still gain.
Stealth is key.
Alright, this is a very fairly easy mission. What we're going to do is we're using a spy to send it over to one of the research facilities where we're going to capture it, and with this the next part is going to happen. So we have the so-called Mammoth 2K prototype. This is a special unit of the GDI, and the game basically introduces us to it, saying that it's a very powerful unit. So this is a cutscene. I can't move my camera during this. Otherwise, fun fact, if you use the camera during this, which you can use by just using the mouse cursor and clicking on the radar, you softlock the game and you can't continue and you need to redo this. But what we're going to do is, this unit is very strong when it comes to single units, but if you have a swarm of units, which we're going to abuse, it's going to be a walk in the park. So once again, we're just going to get
Construction options.
our units out quickly, get a hand of knot, and we're putting it in the heart of our base, enemy's base.
New construction options.
While doing
Unit
it, we're
ready.
going to get a lot of rocket
Construction
infantry.
complete.
And
Unit
also
ready.
another fun fact, for those who didn't know, the more buildings you
Unit
build
ready.
of the same type, like in this case the hand of knot, the faster you
Unit
produce
ready.
units, and that's what we're going to abuse. We're going to build a
Unit
couple
ready.
more, so we can just
Unit ready.
recruit units faster.
Unit ready.
And here we're going to just wait until we almost hit the resource cap,
Unit ready.
because this way we make sure that we have more than enough units.
infantry
Unit
reporting.
ready.
Ready for action. Infantry
Unit
reporting.
ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this should be more than enough.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
So all we need to make sure now is that we destroy all the enemy units. The disruptor is going to be a problem in this case, because it can do splash damage, and since we have fairly weak units, it can just kill them all at once, and we don't want that to happen.
Achieved.
So with this done, we're going to have 2 final missions left. The next one is another stealth mission in an RTS, which we're going to break in a very different way. And the last mission is going to be a fast RTS with glitch heavy strats. So first of all, we're just going to get our amphibious vehicle and send it over here. So you're not supposed to be seen, otherwise the alarm gets raised, but that is exactly what we want to do. We want the alarm to be raised so that the colonel is going to flee. Since we know the route he's going to, we're just going to abuse that mechanic. So all we need to do is destroy this tower and then we can go. So this commander we need to capture is always going in the same exact location. So we're going to just intercept him, wait here, and be done with this. Because the only requirement is just to capture him. There you go. And with this we're done. So normally how you're supposed to play this in a casual playthrough, you're shown this base and you have engineers with which you can take it over. So once you have that base, you can start building and producing more units so that you can go into the center of the enemy before he tries to escape. But what we can just do is basically this. Also, the trigger for this unit is over here, so we need to make sure that there you go. So we need to make sure that the main unit is going over there, otherwise the mission will not trigger the ending. Okay, here we come to the last mission, which is in the beginning. So what we need to do is place 3 rockets in certain locations of enemy bases, and then make sure that they're not getting destroyed. And that is where the hard part happens. So we need to make sure that we don't lose the rockets or the mission fails immediately. And as we want to do it in a fairly fast manner, we're trying to do everything correctly. So first of all, we're just going to deploy another base, make sure that we take all those buildings from our enemy, just for technology reasons, and destroy all the spaces here. So the first rocket place is very conveniently in our own first base, and the other ones are at the enemy spaces. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build a lot of rocketeers, make sure that we can destroy this quickly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send over the rockets to their designated locations. This is risky in their own, as the rockets can get attacked, and as I said, if they're getting destroyed, you lose the mission immediately. So we're just going to send them over, and we're going to also take some precautions by building other units. So first of all, we're going to build some laser turrets at one of the locations where the rocket needs to go, and exactly make sure that we're not going to lose it. And if everything is done correctly, the rocket should go safe and sound up here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the aggro from the enemies by using the normal units, and it also worked. Also, this bridge triggers a death trigger once you go over, so we're trying to use this. There you go. And because of this, we can just repair it, and we're done now. So all we need to do now is send all the rockets over, and we should be done. Yeah, this went actually very smoothly. I'm more than just satisfied, because this might be another gold split. But with this, yeah, we are done. This was the speedrun of Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, the Not campaign. It is a very cool speedrun. I can just recommend it. Yeah, we got another gold split. I'm very happy with this. So it's roughly around 30 to 35 minutes. And also has one of the most amazing cutscenes. Yeah, this was it for me. I would give an estimate about 35 to 40 minutes, just in case, because in other scenarios where I had to showcase the game, there were issues with computers running it, and it didn't run smoothly. It works on my own machine. I need to figure out what the issue with it is. But once this could be fixed, it shouldn't be a problem, but just to be safe and due to technical issues, I would say a 40-minute run should be safe for this speedrun to showcase. And yeah, with this, that's it. That was my run from Tiberian Sun. I'm Hanky, and have fun, and good luck with the selection.
Rising from our trenches, our bunkers,